going to continue playing Production Line from Positech Games. Last time we started a medium-sized factory, and we will load that up here. We've just installed the newest update here, so it looks like our save game isn't going to work. That's unfortunate. Alright. We'll close that out and get a new game started here. It happens, you know. The game's actively in development and things like this happen. So let's start a new medium-sized factory. There we go. Alright. So if you followed the last video, we're going to kind of follow the same process here. Start with our resource importers. Get those set up here. And we will get a basic production line set up. Start with export, quality check, electronics, accessories. Now what we're going to do is we're going to leave a little extra room so that we can fit some additional fit body stations and paint stations, because we know we're going to start off with at least 2 body stations. We'll probably bump that up to 3, and we'll need at least 3 paint stations. But again, we will leave that until we start getting some money coming in. So let's get all these connected here. Let's bring that out. If we don't want to do that. Actually, we could have, because we'll have 3 here, 3 here, so that will work. 1, 2, 3 for the body station. 1, 2, 3 for the paint station. Okay. So these will join up. Come over to the engine. And down to the accessories. We'll get everything connected with our resource conveyors. And we should be on our way to a factory. Now I did notice this conveyor did not connect here. Let's get that fixed. And while that's underway, let's get some research set up. We'll start with our power production to eliminate that cost at the beginning. Get us a little more profit here. This one does not seem to be working. What is missing? The roll cage is missing. Okay, so it says waiting for next slot, and that's because I messed up. I had a body station there when we needed paint. That is my fault entirely. Okay, research is going. Now we have some cars being produced. Now after paint, this conveyor did not connect. Okay. We've got our first car here. Call that our Model 1. We'll sell that at a 50% premium. Alright. Oh, it looks like our conveyor is placed backwards here. Isn't that interesting? As you can tell, my day job is not a factory layout designer. That's probably a very good thing for the people who own the factories. No cars in stock, so let's bump this up 5%. See if we can get a little extra cash for each car. I'm just taking a quick look through here at some things that have changed in the newest update. This section for car stock and sales has been added. That's actually a new button. The pricing for car designs has changed, so it looks like features are now individually priced along with the basic car, so you can increase and decrease the price of the car as a whole, but you can also increase and decrease individual components, which I like. And then this kind of brings everything back up to a certain percentage. I like it. Alright, so now we're getting a little bit of profit here. So let's add another fit engine. We've got power, so let's start researching our body specialization. And that will get us on the way to building our permanent production line. Okay. We can pop down a couple, well, we can do one power plant for now. Don't want to do too much more than that because we don't have a lot of cash we can spend right now. Which is okay, we're just starting out here. Just need to be mindful of our money. Get another power plant installed. Get another power plant installed. go risky. Let's even do one more. Alright, body specialization finished. Let's go for chassis specialization. We will need to come back and research these two. But as I think about it here, I'd like to get the chassis unlocked and then axle specialization unlocked so that we can start to place those first few slots in our permanent production line. So we are doing pretty good as far as profitability here. Not quite enough to build another fit body slot and another paint slot just yet. We're close. But we're not quite there. How much are we spending on power now? 4,000. So I think I'd rather save a little money first and get the third line of fit body and paint installed before worrying about covering our power expenses. I think overall that will be better for us. 174,000, wow. It's a steep price. Probably should have paid a little more attention to my money in the beginning of the game. But that's okay. Start the axle research. I think what we'll do instead is we will cover our power expenses. Alright, so power is covered. Let's get another research office. And we have no car inventory right now. So let's bump this up to 60% and see what happens. Looks like our cars are still selling pretty quickly. So we're even going to bump this up one more time. We're making over $10,000 per vehicle sold. That's pretty good right now. That's enough money to run our conveyor line up to here and to there. I think we'll actually need 2 there. It's enough to get our paint in place, get our resource conveyor to the paint installed. And now we just need to wait to get enough money for the third fit body station. Alright, so we have researched everything for the chassis assembly. Let's go back to body and we'll do body frame specialization. Profitability is pretty good. I like how that looks. I'm not a big fan of this though. I left a little too much space. So we're just going to straighten that out there. Yeah, I like how that looks a lot better. Not necessarily just a visual thing for me, but I like the straight lines. I think if we sell one more car here, we'll have just enough to get that fit body station installed. There we go. Alright, so we have 3 body and paint assembly lines here, which is pretty good. So that should help the efficiency and utilization rate of these engine assemblies. They're already running about 90% of the time, so that's pretty good. We are running the fit bodies over 90% of the time though, so these could be utilized just a bit more. Alright, let's get some more power. Cover our power expenses there for sure. How are we looking on research? Research is looking good. Let's buy 2 more research. That's good. Just to speed things along a little bit there. Alright, so I guess we need to do all 3 of these, so it doesn't really matter which order we go in. So let's go bumper specialization. Our science costs are almost nothing per hour. They're about 2 to 3%, so that's okay. We may even purchase 1 more research. Alright, so what you'll notice here is that our chassis assembly can no longer keep up with the body assemblies. So we may need to find a way to squeeze another chassis assembly in here. And I think we can do that if we move this body station up and move this conveyor. Not sure, but we're going to try it. Take that out, delete these, take that, fit body, conveyor, we'll get that resource conveyor there. And now, if we take the chassis assembly, it fits, but it faces the wrong way. So what we'll do, that's a bit tricky. We'll delete that power plant, move quality assurance over one space, and that will fix it for us. Just continue our research here of the body specialization. Get quality check here. Move that over one, get our conveyor in place. There we go. Get our chassis assembly in place. Get our resource conveyor. And our actual conveyor. And now we need a couple power plants. So I guess we'll put those down here. We'll get some more research too, because we can. All right. So our engine assemblies are completed in 27.5 minutes. We'll call that 28, and our accessories take 14. So accessories are just slightly slower than the engine assembly. That's okay, I think we'll leave that for now. It's not affecting the assembly of the engines quite yet. So we'll leave that as is. How's our research going? Arches are almost done, that's good. We'll start our door specialization. Now, this isn't the most efficient production line. We're overproducing chassis, we're underproducing bodies, but the bodies and the paint are overproducing for the engine assembly we have, which is overproducing for our accessories. We're not worried about optimizing the timing of this yet, because it's only temporary. Once we get our permanent production line assembled, starting from this corner, working down, and then back up to export over here. Once that is started producing vehicles, all of this will get deleted. That's my plan. This is just to get us enough profit to assemble this into a working state. So we're not going to worry too much about optimizations right now. Profit's pretty good when we have vehicles. Alright, so body is finished, doors finished, so that means body as a whole is finished. Chassis is finished. Let's start with our engine. $34 divided by 3 is 11 and change. 27 divided by 2. 28 divided by 2 is 14. So we're currently producing more painted bodies than we are engines. Okay. Because of that, we're going to add an accessories. And we're going to add an engine assembly. We've got the money to do it. We might as well do it now while we still can. Bump up the profit just a little bit here while we wait. And we're still not keeping any vehicles in inventory here. So we're going to bump that price up one more time. Selling it a 70% premium. So the cars are valued at $16,000. And we're selling it for 70% premium. That's pure profit right there. That is fantastic. We may need a little power here. That should cover us for now. Alright, so everything looks pretty good. Still don't have an inventory backlog of vehicles, so I think we'll bump it up one more time. Let's get started on our permanent production line. Excuse me. So this is all about timing. You can see that with the chassis assembly and the axles, you're looking at about 2.5 minutes, 2.25, and 2 minutes. So we'll call that an average of 2.25. This one averages right to 2.25. This one is 4, so we'll probably want one of each of these and then 2 fit fuel tanks. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that we leave enough room to expand as we need. So in this case, we'll leave enough room to place another one of each of these stations next to them. Leave an extra space there because we know we need 2 of these minimum, so that when we place an extra one here, we can also place one here and here, and still be able to configure our conveyor lines. Okay. Alright, so we've got our engine assembly finished. Let's move on to paint. Alright, we finished our chassis assembly. Let's move on to the body. Make front rear bumpers, front rear arches. Okay, so 3 2, 2 1/4, 4 3/4, 2, 4, 2. So we're looking at 2 minutes. Now, alright, I think we're going to research accessories next. Here what we'll do is we'll shoot for an average time of just about 2 1/4 minutes. Seems like what everything will average out to. So I'm going to probably err on the side of caution here and do 2 roll cage assemblies. Just because I'd like to have the extra capacity just in case. And then go for robots here. So that was roll cage. Next will be the hood, the trunk, bumpers, now I think the bumper we can fix with robots, so that's okay. Here is our trim. Our front arch, our rear arch. And our vent. Roof is 430, so we'll do 2 of those. We'll minimize some of these here to save space. Door panels, 220, 220, 2. So we'll start out with just 1 on the doors, the windows, and the wings. Get our conveyors all connected here. We'll finish off our robot research. Now it's on to paint, and paint is all about timing. So paint also takes a lot of room. So I think what we'll do is we'll swing the production line this way to start our paint, because what we want to do is we want to make it so we can export here. So I think if we have paint come down here, we can do engine assembly here, accessories, electronics, quality, and export. So let's actually start to get these lined up here, just so we have a rough idea of spacing. How does quality? 5 minutes, okay. So we'll do 1 of those. Alright. Paint it is. we'll do 2 paint. And so that comes out to 2 minutes, so we need 6 undercoat. Oh, sorry about that. We'll hold off on research. So this is going to be a little funky here. What will happen is that will come down, that will come over, that'll go down, that'll go down. Then you will go there, you'll go there, you'll go there, down. You'll come down and over, down, and over. And we're actually, oh yes, because what will then happen is you'll come around there, over, over, over. So now, that'll work out to almost exactly 2 minutes. Perfect. And this will come around and down, like so. And we'll do the same thing. We're a little tight on space. So we'll do the same thing up here. Now don't forget, everything you see here I'm doing in real time without planning here. I mean, there's some thought that goes into it, but most of what you're seeing here is just me figuring it out as we move along. That'll work. Okay. Now that can go there. That'll go there. Alright, so now paint is done. Engine assembly. We're going to do 2 on the flywheel. One on the starter motor. One on the valves. We'll do 2 on the radiator. It's getting a little tight in here. do 2 on the exhaust. We'll go wheels, tires, brakes, steering. We actually need one more steering assembly here. Was this? It's electronics, okay. There's a lot of accessories we don't have room for. We're gonna have to expand. Was not planning on that. That's interesting. Alright, since we don't have research right now, let's add some power. And let's remove our research. We need research to expand. Okay. Well, the good news is we've got plenty of cash right now. Are we spending it most efficiently? Of course not. But we're doing what we need to do. We have a lot of cars waiting right now in stock, so let's bring down prices a little bit. And we finished with the steering column. We need 2 steering wheels. We'll do 2 lights. Just because we know we're going to need the room anyway. We'll fit 1 horn. We'll need another one on this side, but we don't have the room quite yet. Alright, so they're getting there. Let's put down a few more research offices. Just because we can. To speed things along a little bit here. Now what's interesting is we have funded this entire expansion from about 1/4 of the available space. Pretty good. So while we wait for that research, let's get our importer set up. Got 1 more over here. And we'll start getting our conveyors flowing. There we go. And all we're trying to do right now is just get everything connected here. Now I did not think about that, but we've provided resources, so the factory will start to produce. What was this? Fuel tank, fuel tank. So that one will connect back in here. There we go. Alright. We need some resources down here. Let's get him some resources. Alright, so those resources look good so far. Now we just need these. I did not pay attention to my cash at all. And I did not have autosave turned on. So we are out of business. Alright, so the most important lesson is pay attention to your available cash. This has been Ginger Sim, and we'll call that an episode.